All right, guys, what's up? This is going to be a private video for those who are testing this, and want to go over the new drive chart and kind of, I guess, make this a tutorial and rules video as well, because just based on things that have come up. So first off, the new chart, and field is getting kind of warped. I might actually go get this printed on some cardstock. But anyway, all right. So the new field chart, based on feedback and also my own observations, having the drives come from a single column kind of resulted in, at times, an uneven number of plays. It made the play-by-play portions, some of them longer than others, and really the goal for me when I basically decided or came up with the idea to implement a hybrid type system was to, again, have the key moments or the play-by-play, drive, end of drive, I guess, excitement or drama that comes in college football and football in general, basically play out in a play-by-play mode while getting you to that point in a hurry, which was the purpose of the simulated drive chart. So what was happening is some games, and it also depends on how often you punt too, but some games, you could get through a full game in 35, 40 minutes, depending on number of punts and where field position was, et cetera, et cetera. Other games would take close to an hour and a half if there was a lot of play-by-play action, and also especially if drives were starting like around midfield or on your own 45 or opponent's 45, etc. So what I wanted to do is I tweaked these numbers to take into account stops that were happening on play-by-play actions or punts that were happening on play-by-play portions of the drive. So I put these simulated probabilities, starting with the base 0, a little below average, just slightly, for how many times teams actually punt. Taking into account that we would have a punt 1 or 2, sometimes maybe 3 from the play-by-play mode, depending on, how the dice treated us, of course. So really, it's just a balancing act, and I've been happy so far with this. So you can see drives that start inside the 20 or 0 to the 20, obviously going to be more plays, cover more yards on average. We got a 72-yard drive in here, which if you start at your own 20 would get you down to the opponent's 8 when you go into play-by-play mode. Similarly, 21 to 30, a couple of less plays on average, yards reduced a little bit, and so on up to 31-40 and 41-50. So again, the purpose is to balance out the number of plays over the course of a game to a more realistic level and take some of the time that was getting churned up with the extensive play-by-play portions of the drive. Now you can see I used to have columns for plays and yards. That's all conduced into a single column to fit everything. And finally, I want to talk about the turnover portion. Now the turnover, when there is a potential turnover, interception, or fumble, the way this works is the spot of the turnover is deemed to take place at the end of the drive. So this example here, you could have a 5-play, 38-yard drive, and you have a possible interception. So say you start on your own 40. Basically what this assumes is that those first 4 plays, you gained however many yards, and for the sake of this argument or this example, we'll say 30. So you've got 4 plays, 30 yards, and then on this 5th play, you throw an 8-yard pass, and that's where the possibility of an interception or turn. So the interception or fumble will always take place at the end of the drive, and it will be considered to be the last play of that drive. And we'll look at a different example. Here's basically a 3-and-out. This is even better. 3 plays, 2 yards, and then a kick, meaning you have to try a field goal or punt the ball away. So in this scenario, using that same logic, obviously it's easy if it's a run. You can say, okay, we had an incomplete pass, a stuff, and then ball carrier ran for 2 yards and fumbled. Pass would be the same thing. You say you get stopped for no gain on first down, throw an incomplete on second down, then try a bubble screen that's picked off in the flat on third down, hence the 2-yard ball movement. So I just wanted to clarify that on the turnover portion of the drive, the logic behind it, and how really you would look at it in terms of a game situation. And again, it's a little bit abstract, but I didn't want to get into a situation where I say, okay, you go this far on the drive, now roll and see how many yards the pass goes or how many yards prior to the fumble. Again, it's just adding extra dice rolls, which I did not want to do. So some of the down and distance situations I tweaked slightly, probably barely noticeable. We'll get to this in another video when I show you how to break down how to assign stats for the simulated portions of the drive. No changes there. And again, no changes from the last version. Well, depending on which version you have, some changes here in the punt probability, but I already went over the logic and reasoning for that. As I thought with the very first version of this new updated drive chart, which incorporated the defensive splits with the test teams, etc., things were just getting a little bit too defensive for my liking, and this seems to still bring those defensive battles into play while also allowing high-scoring games and a mix of blowouts and close games, which you would expect in college football, depending on how evenly the talent was matched. So I'm talking way too much. The other thing I wanted to discuss is, and this was brought up by Matt, which is a very good point. Last drive of the game, if you roll a punt, if you're down by, even if you're down by 2 scores, if you're getting blown out, if you're down by 28 points, you're probably just going to punt the ball. I know as a coach, if I was down by 28 and there was 2 minutes left and I was 4th down, I'm not going to prolong the agony anymore. I'm going to send in my punt team and then expect the other team basically to take a knee 2 or 3 times and get us out of there. So same concept here. And again, this is flexible. My basic recommendation on this rule is if you have the ball on your last drive of the game, and you get a drive result of a punt, and you're within, again, 14 points. And I say 14 because depending on the situation, there might be a possibility if the other team has a drive left for you to try an onside kick if you somehow score. And that brings into play those late game miracles and bizarre, exciting endings. So how this will work on your last drive, if you're within 14 points and you say roll a 4-yard or 4-play 11-yard drive and it's time to punt. Normally you would do that. In this case, go ahead and roll the 2d6s. And 7, the result there on any type of defense is a 1st and 10. You would just automatically move the down to 4th down. So you have a 4th down and 10, and you can then go for it and try and keep the drive alive since it's your last drive and it's a reasonably close game. Or you can even decide to punt, or you go for it and get stopped, turnover on downs, and then the other team hopefully runs out the clock. So that's going to be a variance, and I wanted to get this here on video so when you start testing with the updated charts, you can use that methodology or that, wrinkle for end-of-game situations. So I think those were the 2 main things I needed to clarify in addition to going over the chart. So let's do a Memphis and Northwestern matchup. Northwestern and talent factor here. Northwestern has a talent factor of 1, but they were definitely a defensive heavy team. So all of their talent factor adjustment points go to their defense, meaning Memphis, instead of a run offensive 4 and a pass offensive 7, are now 2 and 5 respectively. Memphis's defensive ratings do not change since it is a 0 on the offensive adjustment for Northwestern. So that's how drive, or that's how talent factor works. And of course, you'll get those numbers from this point of the chart. And what I've done on the score sheet, because these fluctuate, I put the star, the line control basically results on the score sheet. So these are already adjusted. So when Memphis has a ball, this is their adjusted run and pass offense numbers. And these are Northwestern's defensive numbers. So it's just a matter of looking here, getting a quick reference point, which, you know, is a little bit quick. Actually, it's quicker, one, than having to compare cards when it was on there, which were moved for space constraints, and definitely quicker than going to the master chart where you have to, okay, they were 5, now they're 3 or whatever. It's this many stars. Now I find the defense. So I think this format will make it a lot quicker to discern who has the line control when you're in play-by-play mode. All right. So that said, let's do a Northwestern and Memphis matchup. A Memphis, in my last test game, kicked the absolute hell out of Arizona, and Arizona was just abysmal last year. So we'll roll the coin toss. And again, just to clarify, this is what the visiting team calls, and this is the result of the coin toss. I've already done this. Memphis elected to receive the ball. Have to do a coin toss. And we will now go to our kickoff mode. Now, penalties on special teams. As I look for the dice. Penalties on special teams, and you'll see that on the game chart as well. Or actually, it will be added here. So in situations where there's a penalty on the kickoff or a punt, on punt, if it's on the defense, anything under the 15-yard range is considered roughing the kicker. Any other result, there's no holding. Any other result is going to be offsides on the defense. And any result on the offense is going to be a false start. And again, that will be clarified and added as we move forward in the testing process. All right, so we are into our kickoff situation, and we do have a potential penalty. It is not a penalty. So we'll go 8, and again, Memphis, and I'm just going to go through this real slow to make sure, again, that this can be used as kind of a tutorial, because I am going to bring a couple of new testers in as we get things more refined as well. So I want this to be there as a reference point. All right, so Memphis, their kickoff result or their kickoff rating is a B, of course. So 8 on a B, that's going to go down to the 5-yard line, and the return, I'm sorry, it's Northwestern. 8 on a D, which is Northwestern, is going to go to the 10, and Memphis's kickoff return rating is a D. So 2 on the D chart, and that is going to be a 16-yard return. And I'm going to fix the light here. All right. So Memphis, and my camera. There we go. All right, so Memphis is going to take over on their own 26, and even incorporating the score sheet here. So starting on their own 26-yard line, and then we will do their simulated drive. And again, the offensive and defensive drive ratings, Northwestern's defense is an 11, and Memphis's offense is a 7. It's going to be a -4. Northwestern is going to be fairly adept at shutting down the Memphis attack. Not this time, though, as 80 will be a successful drive. And again, this is 21 to 30, so we use the 3 here, and 21 to 30 is going to be a 4-play, 26-yard simulated portion of drive. So 4 plays, 26 yards, and that puts us at, or that puts Memphis at the Northwestern 48, and we'll jump into the action there. And down and distance situation 11 is not going to be too favorable, as again, Northwestern with that 10+ defense, going to be 3rd down and 4. So 3rd and 4 from the 48 and play-by-play mode. Already getting situated. All right, so again, 3rd and 4. And again, this is serving as a tutorial as well. So 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3 to 5 column here. 6 is going to be a short pass by Memphis. And you would then check your score sheet for the star ratings. So short pass and Memphis here with the ball, a roll of 4. They have a pass rating of 1, roll of 5 for the Wildcats, also a 1. So it's going to be an even result off the Northwestern short pass column. And 0 in that column, a roll of 1. It's going to be 4 yards and a potential sack. So that will get the first down. In the way you can choose to do this, this is another thing I wanted to clarify. Typically here, to add to the excitement, I guess, of the game, I would hold this as the original result for the receiver. So this would be a short pass to Watkins for 4 yards, and then we'll roll for the sack. And again, looking to get it to Watkins, Ramsey, or White in trouble. So the Memphis sack range is 1 to 10 on offense. Northwestern's sack adjustment, it's really the one part they're really terrible on defense. It's a -5. So this would be this would become a 1 to 5 result for the sack, and that is indeed going to be a sack. And of course, sack results are a loss of 2d6. So that takes away the first down pass as Ramsey. I'm sorry, not Ramsey. White is going to get credit for a -9, and that's going to make it a 4th down and 13. And puts the ball all the way back to the 43-yard line where Memphis will have to punt. So the way I would document that, give White in college, sacks are counted as a carry. So give him a carry for -9. And then in here on the result, you would enter punt. And you would then resolve the punt accordingly. And again, going through both initial drives here in super slow-mo. All right, so the punt result, and to have a potential penalty, 14 is not. So Memphis is a B punting. And B punting on a roll of 9, that's going to be a potential block. Now, I want to address blocks too. Be a 43-yard punt, first of all. So I want to address blocks. And before I do that, we'll calculate the return just in case he does get it away. And so Northwestern on punt return is a D. And, of course, you go roll of 4 there on the D column. It's going to be a 3-yard return. So 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. Now, blocks right now this is another thing that's going to be honed in for the final product. At this point, just as a placeholder more or less, blocks always occur on 99. And that's going to be the minimum for each team, because you always want to have that chance of a block. Teams that block kicks at a higher frequency, and this again will come off the defensive card. So they might have a 97 to 99, whatever the case may be. And you can do this 2 ways. And this is the way I choose to do it. You use that same roll, black and white, 9 and a 4. If it's a 99, it's going to be a block. If not, you resolve the return, or you can roll it again. Like I said, I choose to do it this way, a one-stop shop. So I know if I've got a kick and a punt anyway, and I roll a 99 on these dice, it's going to be a potential block. Otherwise, 98 or less, it's going to be whatever the result here is in terms of number of yardage. And again, minimizing dice rolls as effectively as possible. So we had a 43-yard punt, 87 down to the 13, and a 3-yard return puts it at the 16, and that's where Northwestern, and again, we'll mark here, start their first drive. So Northwestern's offense, and mainly because of their talent factor, it's a boost. Got a 1-point boost up to a 7 from a 6. And Memphis's defensive rating is a 6. So Northwestern will roll on the drive chart a +1, which meaning basically 31 or better, they're going to avoid a punt. And 66, that's going to be a successful drive. So going to the drive chart again, starting inside the 20, a roll of 16. It's going to be a 6-play, 52-yard drive, which again you would document here on the score sheet. And I do have the stereotypical sloppy southpaw handwriting. No apologies, but it is messy. So we're going to get a 52-yard drive. 16 is going to be 68, which puts the ball down at the 32-yard line. So you can see here how much, and 7 on the situation is going to make it a 1st and 10. So you can see here how much more consistent, I guess, our play-by-play drives are going to be in terms of starting position. And again, will be a shorter game, where on the old chart, that could have been a, well, let's look at the old chart. So on the old chart here, that could have been, as an example, a 3-play, 25-yard drive, 4-play, 29-yard drive. So that would have put us into a much lengthier play-by-play situation. And again, the object of the game is, as I've explained, is to simulate a good college football experience in a reasonable amount of time. So we're in play-by-play mode for the Wildcats now. All right, Northwestern. And Northwestern, of course, is a lean run team. And 1st and 10, 5 is going to be a run result. So our results are 2 and 6. Northwestern has 2 stars against 0 stars. It's going to be a +2, and the roll is 3. So +2 in a 3 column. Unfortunately, Northwestern is a lean run team. They're not a very good running team. And actually, their run defense is worse than their run offense in terms of giving up yardage. So it's going to be a 2-yard gain, and the ball carrier on that's going to be the QB Ramsey. So that'll give us 2nd down and 8 from the 30. 0 to 4 will be a run again, and that's what's going to happen. And this time it's a 5 and 2. It's going to come off of Memphis's chart. Now, sometimes, as we saw in the Arizona-Memphis game, this can be beneficial. So -2, Memphis is not as horrible in stopping the run as Arizona, fortunately for them. So 7, and that's going to be a single yard. Memphis stacking the box. They're going to make Northwestern throw the ball. And ball carrier on that's going to be Bowser. So 1 yard for Bowser on the run. And we're going to have a 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. They are within field goal range. From here, it would be a 46-yard field goal. And from that range, they are basically 75%. But, of course, they would like to get a 1st down. 3rd and 6 +7. That's going to be a short pass. And a roll of 3. No penalty on the 3 rolls. So 3, it's going to be 1 star each, coming off the 0 column roll of 2. And that's going to be incomplete, however, as, again, Northwestern, not the most stellar offense. So 0 for 1 for Ramsey in play-by-play mode. It's going to be a 4th and 7, and it's going to bring out the field goal team. And we'll roll all dice just in case a penalty comes up again. We're looking for 74 or better, and 76. That is wide right. So a missed field goal on Northwestern's first possession. And field position will flip as Memphis will take over on the 29-yard line. And I'm just going to play 1 quarter here just so you guys get it. Again, using this as a tutorial, not necessarily for you guys that have been testing, but for a couple of people that we are going to add to this. So Memphis now, their 2nd drive. It's been defense thus far as Northwestern fails on the field goal attempt. So once again, -4 on the drive check for Memphis. It's got to be more than 42, and this time it is going to be a punt situation. And again, doubles, you do not check penalties on the drive. It's going to be a 5-play drive for only 12 yards for the Tigers. And they will come in to do their 2nd punt of the day. So 12 yards up to the 41-yard line. And they will kick it away. Memphis on the punt is, again, a B. No penalty on this, so 8 on B on the punt. It's going to be a 40-yard punt down to the 19-yard line. And the return 5, Northwestern on the punt return is a D. And 5D is going to be no return. So the Wildcats are again going to be pinned inside their 20-yard line, this time starting on the 19. And we'll go into drive mode again, +1. 59, and that is going to be another successful drive for Northwestern. 59 in a roll of 11, 0 to 20 is going to be 6 plays, 47 yards. So they're grinding up some yardage between the 50s. 66 is going to put us at the 34. And down and distance situation, Memphis with a 6 defense on the drive. And roll of 9, again, we get our situation here. And we'll show that chart. This is a situation where you use a 2D6 on the drive. So cross-reference defensive 6. Roll of 9, going to be 2nd down and 4 for Northwestern. So favorable down and distance situation for the Wildcats there. As we jump into play-by-play mode. And this looks like another good scoring opportunity for the Wildcats. And 6 on 1st down, they're going to keep it on the ground. And unfortunately, that is going to yield a -1 result. Not the best defensive effort, but still a good one. So 6 on the -1, and that's going to be a 1-yard gain. Memphis pretty stingy in giving up yards on the ground. 17, the ball carrier on that is going to be Anderson. Oh, and my bad. That was 2nd down. That should have been, you know what, we'll do that again. That should have been a pass. Sorry. 2nd down, 0 to 4 have been around 6 is a short pass. So we'll reset that. And that actually plays out worse for the Wildcats as they have no stars to 2 stars. So -2 for Memphis on the short pass. -2 for Memphis on the short pass roll of 6. That's going to be a 4-yard gain, however, and that will be a 1st down. So defense giveth and taketh away, and the ball or the recipient of that is going to be Bowser out of the backfield, 4-yard gain. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats on the 30. And now it's going to be a run play, and it's going to be another bad result as line control is going to be -2 for Memphis, and a roll of 8 -2. That's going to be a 2-yard gain, and ball carrier on that is going to be Bowser. Northwestern as a team averaged 3.7 yards per rush. And two, with the way the drives work out when we get to the video where we break down the simulated drive stats and how to distribute those, the average will be boosted up. And again, the idea is to keep things in line with how they are in real life, obviously. So 2nd down and 8. See if Northwestern not rolling good on the line control rolls. Again, they're going to be faced with a -2 result this time, as the Memphis run defense is actually pretty decent. And actually, I did not stellar. Oh no adjustment. Yeah, so. Never mind me is this is what I do when I test offline when I'm not doing videos, general public videos, as I talk to myself. All right, so it's going to be -2 on that chart. So -2, a roll of 5. And that's actually going to be the one bad result for Memphis, bad and good. It's going to be a 7-yard gain, but the asterisk, and again, asterisk means potential fumble. Exclamation point means potential interception. Also fumble here. And of course, the $sign means a potential sack. Just so we also have that on the record is what the symbols mean. All right, so that is going to be a 7-yard gain, which if they retain the ball, it'll be 3rd and 1 at the 20. Ball carrier there at 19 is going to be Hull. 7-yard gain for Hull, and now we will roll for our fumble. So again, tutorial style fumble for Northwestern is 1 to 11 in terms of when they will lose it, And Memphis has a +1 as their defensive adjustment. So we're looking at 1 to 12. And it looks like Memphis has a good shot to negate another drive. And they do. Missed field goal the first time, this time a turnover. So opportunistic for Memphis as they take over now on their own 21. And we'll get right into the drive mode or simulated drive portion. And again, to use this video to ask any questions you might have as well. So we're in our final possession of the first quarter. It has been defensive throttling for Memphis and Northwestern, a comedy of errors, turning the ball over and missing a field goal. All right, so 47 and 47, again, -4. And that's going to be a successful drive for the Tigers. So coming from their own 21-yard line and a roll of 2 on the 1D20. It's going to be a 7-play, a 44-yard drive. Yep, they're 21. So 7-play, a 44-yard drive. So a good drive for Memphis. And it's going to be 65, which puts it at the Northwestern 35. And a roll of 6 with that defensive 10+, and that's going to be a 2nd down and 12 scenario for the Tigers. So 2nd and 12 from the 35 as we jump into play-by-play mode now for Memphis. And they are a lean pass team, which what I would expect here. 2nd down, a roll of 6 is going to be a short pass. Bad roll for Memphis on the line control. It's going to be 0 stars going into the teeth of the Northwestern defense, which is a -3. It's probably going to be a stuff. That is indeed a stuff on the short pass. So the way the stuff works, the stuff yardage is calculated off that particular team, not what the defense does. So you'll re-roll the stuff result off your own team chart. This is just going to make a bad situation worse for the Wildcats. It's going to be a 3-yard, or I'm sorry, number 3. It's going to be a 4-yard loss on the short pass attempt. Back to the 39. That is going to make it 3rd down and 16 now for Memphis. And the recipient of that, as White, gets his first completion in play-by-play mode. Roll of 8 on the short pass, and that is going to be Dykes. So Dykes -4 yards and brings up a 3rd and long for the Tigers. 3rd and long, and it is going to be another short pass result here. And this time, better dice roll for the Tigers. That's going to be a +3 for Memphis. So roll of 8 +3, and that's only going to be 7 yards, however, on the short pass to Clark. I'm going to put it at the 32 and going to make it 4th down and 9. Memphis, 17 onto this would be a 49-yard field goal. And from this distance, Memphis is a 71% team, so they're going to go ahead and kick it. See if they can get up on top here on Northwestern here in the first quarter. 70 or less, and kick is up and good. So Memphis takes a 3-0 lead, and Northwestern will have the ball one more time in the first quarter, and then we'll call it a stream. Again, this was just for purposes of clarifying a couple of points and introducing the new charts, which I'm going to send out right after this video. So here goes the kickoff, and it's going to be, all right, B for both. Roll of 1 on the kickoff, and that's going to be a touchback. So Northwestern starts their final drive of the first quarter on the 25-yard line. And actually kind of surprised in rating these teams that Northwestern rated out to 12 drives a game, and that kind of speaks to their offensive ineptitude at times. As normally a run-heavy or a lean run team, or a team that favors a run, would be an 11 or sometimes even a 10. But they're going to start their final drive here, and again, +1 on the drive chart, so it's going to be 31 or better, and that roll at the end, a 0. Northwestern's going to punt. Get 22 yards on 5 plays on the drive before they kick it away. And we'll resolve the punt which will take place from the 47. And call it a stream. Again, if you need any, have any questions, any other clarification, etc., just go ahead and leave them in these comments of the video I'm going to send you. All right, so here we go. 5 on the punt. Northwestern is a C. So 5C again, that's going to be a 42-yard punt. So 89, that is going to stick the ball down at the 11. It's been a battle of field positions thus far. And Memphis's punt return is a C. 4C, that's going to be a 4-yard return up to the 15, and that's where Memphis will take over next. So we completed a quarter here, and Northwestern moving the ball between the 20s, but faltering once they get into a potential threatening position. They trail Memphis 3-0. Appreciate it, guys. I'll get this out to you. And again, appreciate all you guys do. Again, any clarifications needed on the charts, on the new chart, etc., let me know, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.